the Palisades fire and the Eaton fire, two of the most destructive wildfires in U.S. history.
Gotta get out of here.
Widespread heartbreak, frustration, and uncertainty. But amid the devastation, signs of resilience and hope.
I was blown away just how much the community is pulling together and how amazing it truly is.
As quickly as the fires burned, communities rallied from food and donation drives to fundraising to help those in need.
This is our city. Nothing's going to hold us down, especially not these fires.
Though much was lost, we will rise and shine again, and together we will rebuild SoCal.
Hello and welcome to Rebuilding SoCal, our commitment to give you the latest developments in the wake of the fires. I'm Amy Johnson.
And I'm Gio Insignares. Here at KCAL, your stories matter, but more importantly, you matter. And we'll keep you at the forefront of our coverage as we rebuild SoCal.
Yeah, we'll be here Fridays at 4:30 on KCAL. You can also find this half hour on our YouTube page and website. We'll get answers and hold leaders accountable while showcasing Southern California solidarity and strength, because we stand with you.
And we start with a major development toward recovery this week. The Environmental Protection Agency has begun phase 1 of hazardous material removal.
Governor Newsom says he is pushing the EPA to finish its work in 30 days instead of the original commitment of 60 days.
When you look at the houses, well, a lot of people say, well, it's just burned to ash. Well, within that ash are really dangerous chemicals. And when the rainwater hits it and it runs off into the drains, that goes into our watershed, our rivers, our creeks, our streams, and our oceans, right into our communities.
EPA crews are collecting damaged and destroyed lithium-ion batteries and taking them to a staging area at Topanga and PCH in Malibu. Experts say lithium-ion batteries can reignite and explode, emitting toxic gases.
That work is phase 1. The Army Corps of Engineers will then follow the EPA for phase 2. But before the ACE removes debris, owners must fill out a form.
Your opt-in form is going to mean that you're going to have the Army Corps Engineers conduct your cleanup. So you'll have the government conduct your cleanup at no cost to you. So that'll be if you opt into this form by March 31st of this year.
You can find the form on recovery.lacounty.gov. There are also opt-out forms for owners who do not want to take part in the federal cleanup program. In that case, costs will be on the owner.
The question was when people said, I want to come back tomorrow and start rebuilding.
Right.
And you say, well, I'm going to get my own contractor.
Yeah.
But it has to be a contractor who has the requirements.
You can do that in phase 2.
Okay.
You cannot do that in phase 1.
That's right. All right.
Well, our Pat Harvey joined Mayor Karen Bass and Chief Fire Recovery Officer Steve Soboroff to get answers as they surveyed the Palisades fire damage and discussed rebuilding plans. Soboroff also told Pat that owners who do not fill out the opt-in and out forms will actually delay the cleanup process.
Meanwhile, Governor Newsom has approved a more than $2.5 billion bipartisan fire relief package. State lawmakers say it's the first of more to come.
This is a down payment on the work that the state is going to be doing. We know that this is going to be a long process, that there are going to be a lot of steps in the journey, but we wanted people in Los Angeles to see that we are acting with urgency, but we also want them to know that we are going to be here with them for the long haul every step of the way, and so that we expect to be doing more rounds of aid, more legislation, more budget actions as soon as a few weeks from now.
Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel co-authored the bipartisan legislation. Here's the breakdown of it. $2.5 billion will go towards sheltering survivors, debris removal and cleanup, and other emergency response efforts. $4 million will go to streamlining approvals for rebuilding homes and businesses, and $1 million will go toward rebuilding schools.
Well, there are talks about President Trump wanting to get rid of FEMA, which is causing concern among some about getting coverage that they need. I asked Assemblymember Gabriel about that issue.
I think it's fair for us to expect that we are going to see some of our money that we have sent as California taxpayers to Washington come back to help us with these rebuilding efforts. In the same way that Washington was there for Florida and Texas and Louisiana and other states that have experienced natural disasters, I think it's fair for us to expect that our federal government is going to be there for us.
Gabriel also says the state will continue to act with urgency to help our region.
President Trump has been critical about how leaders have handled the wildfires.
Yeah, Governor Newsom says his claims are false, but are they? Julie Watts has a look at what the CBS News Confirm team discovered.
I ask you, we've got to deal with this misinformation. There are hurricane force winds of mis and disinformation, lies.
Misinformation after a disaster is nothing new, but Governor Newsom's approach to combating it certainly is. He set up his very own fact-check website using his personal domain. Interestingly, he never directly fact-checks President Trump. You might call it social media diplomacy. Instead, he fact-checks posts from people who echo the president's sentiments. While some of his fact-checks are easily verifiable, like the Hollywood sign was not on fire, others require some nuance, which brings us to fact check number 1. Did Governor Newsom cut California's fire budget ahead of the LA fires? Newsweek was first to publish the headline, but the governor didn't respond until it was picked up by Fox News.
Poor stupidity and stunning incompetence from California's Democrat leaders.
Newsom called the reports that he cut California's fire budget by $100 million in the months before the fire a ridiculous lie. Except it's not a lie. Let's start with the governor's fact check. It is a fact that since he took office, the number of CAL FIRE personnel and CAL FIRE's budget has increased significantly. It did not double. It is also a fact that Newsom did cut more than $100 million in supplemental wildfire-related funding last year. Here's the budget. It includes $12 million in cuts for home hardening, $5 million for prescribed fires and hand crews, but the bulk of the cuts were for biomass pilot and conservation projects, so it's unlikely these cuts would have actually impacted the LA fires. Now to fact check number 2. Did California run out of water?
For the sake of the smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing.
Instead of fact-checking the president, the governor fact-checked a post from Libs of TikTok saying there's no water coming out of the hydrants because the city didn't fill the reservoirs. As the governor notes, in fact, the reservoirs in California are full and there's no water shortage in Southern California. In fact, state data shows that all but 3 of California's major reservoirs are at or above historical averages. But the 117 million gallon reservoir nearest the Palisades fire was out of service when the fires began. Newsom said he's launching an independent investigation.
Now, it's worth noting that the reservoir is not the reason the fire hydrants ran dry. According to LA city officials, they did have 3 1 million gallon water tanks feeding those hydrants, but those tanks ran out of water by the second morning of the firefight. They say it wasn't due to a lack of water, but rather unprecedented demand. They say they couldn't fill the tanks fast enough to get enough water pressure to then feed back to those hydrants. So a lot of important context and nuance here.
Well, the debate over a proposed law that would legally connect fire damage to oil companies. That's next.
And a reminder, we partnered with the American Red Cross to help fire victims. If you'd like to donate, scan the QR code on your screen, or you can go to redcross.org/KCAL.
Del Taco's new Chipotle chicken burrito and bean rice and cheese burrito, packed with flavor and fresh ingredients on Del's Real Deals menu. Wait, what? These burritos on a value menu with everything under $3? Look at Del Taco hooking us up.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
We are Seller's Advantage.
And we want to buy your house.
Seller's Advantage has revolutionized the home selling process to get you more for your home.
With no agent fees, no hassles, and no repairs, selling your house doesn't have to be overwhelming.
Call now or visit sellersadvantage.com.
The fires affecting Southern California communities have been devastating. If you have suffered property loss or severe damage, call now. Our experienced attorneys are helping wildfire victims in recovering their losses. Call 1-800-FIRE-120.
Think you need a new roof? Think again. 9 out of 10 roofs can be saved by RoofMax at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. I know it's hard to believe. Just scan the QR code on the screen to hear how our customers are raving about RoofMax.
Now's the perfect time for your new adventure. So, catch a wave. AutoNation Toyota is here to help get you out there. Drive a brand new 2024 Toyota Tacoma Double Cab for only $269 a month. Visit AutoNation Toyota today.
Del Taco's new Chipotle Chicken Burrito and Bean Rice and Cheese Burrito, packed with flavor and fresh ingredients on Del's Real Deals menu. Wait, what? These burritos on a value menu with everything under $3? Look at Del Taco hooking us up.
LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman has vowed to go after fire-related crimes. He told KCAL News his office does have the capacity and support to handle everything coming in.
I've got over 750 prosecutors that are fired up. These are people who also live in the community, who have also had friends and colleagues and people in the court system and secretaries and support staff who've lost everything. They are absolutely fired up to bring justice to those criminals who are taking advantage of the situation, as well as doing their day-to-day operations and the cases that they already had.
Hochman says price gouging crimes can be held consecutive if multiple are committed. On the looting front, the DA's office has brought cases that have maximum sentences of 3, 6, 9 or more years.
State lawmakers are going after big oil following the fires. A new proposed bill would allow victims and insurance companies to seek damages from oil companies over climate change and its effects. State Senator Sasha Renee Perez represents the Eaton Fire area and co-authored the bill.
For decades now, it has been consumers and taxpayers that have been fronting the cost, for these situations. So they need to be at the table. They are part of what created this disaster, and that is really what we're trying to force to happen here.
One expert compared the bill to tobacco companies being held liable for health care costs. Critics like the Western States Petroleum Association says the bill scapegoats the industry for political gain. Perez disagrees.
This is supposed to be our rainy season. The oil and gas industry has known for over 50 plus years that these are the kinds of disasters that we would experience if we did not start doing things differently. And they still went ahead and continue to try to thwart and prevent us from moving towards clean energy that would have prevented these things from happening.
Now, if the bill passes, California would be the first state to allow for such legal action.
Growing questions about water safety. Many in the fire zones still don't have water, and they want some answers.
KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk looked into the issue.
We've gotten a lot of viewer questions here at the desk about the fire and fire-related recovery. One of them that we continue to see is about water and the do not drink orders that are in place for both the Eaton and the Palisades fire. I want to show you this question that we got from Chad. Chad says, can KCAL get more information than me about a timeline for the do not drink water zone or the test results that are the source of the do not drink order? Well, I had a chance to talk with the director of water quality for the LADWP, and while they say the timeline is unclear based on the testing, I did ask him about getting those results for our viewers.
We are committed to being transparent, and our customers should expect us to be able to share this information for them as it is available.
So I want to follow up on that and ask, is there, you mentioned that you wanted to wait until the regulators had seen the data and approved the data. Why does that have to happen? Why can't people just see what you guys are seeing?
I think we just want to be controlled in how the data is interpreted, right? If two people look at the data, they may not interpret it the same way. We all use our expert opinion, but we certainly want the independent experts from the state regulators to look at it. And I think that will then make the information most reliable and useful. Otherwise, just asking people to make their own determinations based on raw data is probably not an effective communication tool.
Now, when DWP is ready to lift the do not drink order, are you guys going to be in a position to release the data kind of at the same time as that do not drink order?
Sure. I think we would want to make that data available to folks just as again, added assurance that the data, how much data, what did it show? But we would be able to provide that.
So, Chad, there's your answer. DWP says they'll be able to release that data once they lift the do not drink order. But as you heard him say, he wants to make sure that the State Water Quality Board is also able to review the data as well. Chad, we'll stick with the DWP and make sure those results get released when the do not drink orders are lifted.
And if you have a tip about the local fires that you want Mike to look into, you can visit kcalnews.com/tips or scan the QR code there on your screen. Offering a home away from home.
Yeah, the temporary housing relief program hoping to inspire others.
Very surprised that any house could make it through that.
Plus, standing among the ruins, the strategy some owners credit with saving their homes.
Prizes, gifts, giveaways. Celebrate 20 years of good times at Morongo.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sean, founder of 4M Dental Implant Centers. I know it's tough to live with missing, broken, or loose teeth.
It was very hard for me to go out and smile.
I just can't believe what you did in one day.
I feel alive again.
My only regret is not doing it sooner.
My teeth are my favorite part of my body now.
I want to help you too. Call us now for our very special offer.
Call 844-4M-DENTAL.
Man, I need some serious help with this health insurance stuff.
Check out Covered California. It's a free service from the state that helps you get health insurance. Millions of people have used it.
Wait, for real?
Mm-hmm. They even offer financial help to lower the cost.
No, how you know about all this?
That's how I got my insurance. I got a great plan for about $10 a month.
Okay, I see you.
If you've got questions, Covered California can help every step of the way. Enroll by January 31st. Covered California. This way to health insurance.
I was coming home from work. Traffic had stopped. The guy behind me, he didn't stop.
I went into a pizzeria, and next thing I know, I'm on the ground.
I went to the mall, but fell onto my back. I decided to call Morgan & Morgan.
The very next day, Morgan & Morgan took charge. Everything was done electronically.
You don't even have to go in the office. Everything was over the phone.
It was quite easy. Had everything handled. They do the work.
It was very, very easy, very simple, and very quick.
Think bad credit is holding you back from driving a car like this? Think again. Not at Car World. We're LA's #1 buy here, pay here car dealership, where your credit doesn't matter. And with our tax season programs, we'll make turning your tax refund into a new ride as easy as... That's right, we're the bank. And with our in-house financing, we'll have you approved for a car loan guaranteed. Plus, use your tax refund and we'll give you $1,000 off any car on the lot. $1,000 off. Car World on Prairie Ave and Hawthorne. Call 855-939-5700.
It's full of comic legends.
Baby guinea pigs are called what?
Well, for me, bacon bits.
Contestants play for big money, and the stars deliver the laughs. Funny You Should Ask, America's comedy game show. Coming up next.
Survival stories are emerging from the Palisades and Eaton fires, particularly those amazed to find out their homes are still standing.
In some cases, it was luck, but as our Christine Lazar found out, others believe they were spared because of steps they took before the fires.
They stand out amidst the devastation in the Palisades in Altadena, homes that somehow made it through the firestorm. Kelly Klein's house in Malibu wasn't one of them.
No firemen ever showed up at all. There's no firemen, there's no help, so these houses were just sacrificed.
But right next door, Klein's neighbor's home is still standing.
And we walked around it. I don't see any damage.
No, it's like a green oasis in the middle of a war zone.
Harry Statter founded Frontline Wildfire Defense System, one of a growing number of companies that will install a sophisticated sprinkler setup on your home. As we first reported back in 2023, Frontline created an app that can deploy the sprinklers and fire retardant even if you're not home.
Our software platform will detect fire relative to the location of your home. and it'll also detect wind gusts and fuel conditions, and it'll activate your system on your behalf.
Starting at about $500 a month, the system is far from cheap, but it has Kelly Klein's attention.
Very surprised that any house could make it through that.
Will you build differently?
I would put the frontline system clearly. I think absolutely have to build differently.
We have a cement floor all the way through this whole level. We have the slate, which is also in our bathrooms, in our showers and things.
And the cinder block.
And the cinder block. And then we have our beautiful metal fireplace.
Nancy and Jim Evans designed their home in the hills above Malibu based on the trauma of losing their first one in the old Topanga fire of 1993.
It took us over 2 years to rebuild.
It was kind of a revenge house where we decided we're going to build in the same spot, but we're going to build a fortress.
Their architect framed the fortress entirely of steel. Every door is made of metal. The very few pieces of wood inside are purely decorative. When the Palisades fire roared into their neighborhood, nearly every structure here was destroyed or damaged. It burned up to the Evans front door.
Nothing defended this house. There was no water drops. There was nobody with a hose. This house just sat here in the middle of this, surrounded by fire.
This time, the Evans home survived, but both their hearts are breaking for so many neighbors who have so much work ahead of them.
It's hard to imagine any man, woman, or child in Los Angeles right now that wasn't touched by this particular tragedy. I've never seen anything so big before. This is like a hole in the soul of Los Angeles in a way that won't be healed for quite a while.
Jim and Nancy Evans have 2 sons. One lost his home in the Altadena fire. The other is still evacuated from the Palisades, but he was one of the lucky few whose home survived. Christine Lazar, KCAL News.
Well, a new place to stay 30 miles from what was once home.
The city welcoming Eaton Fire families with open arms. And from fire trucks to fast food, how the Dodgers are showing up for LA County and its heroes.
When a truck hit my car, the insurance company wasn't fair. I didn't know what my case was worth, so I called the Barnes firm.
I'm Rich Barnes. It's hard for people to know how much their accident case is worth. Let our injury attorneys help you get the best result possible.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, ride your bike.
If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, smile big and bright.
Thousands of kids just like me are happy every day.
And it's all because of generous people like you who support Shriners Hospitals for Children every month.
All you have to do is call the number on your screen or go online to loveshriners.org right now with your monthly gift.
Because of people like you, Shriners Hospitals for Children is able to make an everyday miracle happen for kids like me.
If you're happy and you know it, dance around. If you're happy and you know it, play a song.
If you're happy and you know it, and your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, take your shot.
And when you call or go online right now to donate $19 a month or more, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a thank you and a reminder of all the smiles you're bringing to kids' faces every day.
Will today be the day you send your love to the rescue?
When you call the number on your screen right now and give as little as $19 a month, just 63 cents a day, you'll be making a life-changing difference for a child, just like Sarah.
Your monthly gift today could change your life forever.
Because of you.
We are happy and we know it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please call or go online right now to give. If operators are busy, please wait patiently or go to loveshriners.org right away.
Boys in Blue are showing love for LA. Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani and other team members met with firefighters in the Palisades. Dodgers then presented the LAFD Foundation with a check for $350,000. The Dodgers also took over a Jack in the Box in Pasadena. Blue Crew took orders, served food, greeted customers, many of which were directly affected.
Unfortunate, obviously, what's going on in LA, and I think just having it by a location so close to the areas affected, it's just kind of show our face and just let people know that we'll do whatever we can to help.
Put some smiles on some people's faces and hopefully give them some hope and some joy throughout their day. I know a lot of people have been through some really, really terrible times, and just hopefully they feel a little bit better.
The Dodgers Foundation has committed up to $100 million to the LA Rises Recovery Initiative. And community support has been in full force.
Yeah, in Compton, the Crystal Hotel has welcomed about 40 Eaton Fire families to live there temporarily for free. At the hotel, individuals can meet with realtors and insurance reps to help start rebuilding their lives. This is all part of a program called Project Uplift, where local organizations help pay for the rooms and meals.
It's just so much to do, you don't know where to start. It's a blessing to be able to have these people really reach out and help each family.
Well, Compton Council member Andre Spicer is behind this initiative. He hopes the city will step in with more funds and that other cities follow suit. Well, we want to thank you for watching Rebuilding SoCal this week. I'm Amy Johnson.
And I'm Gio Insignares. Our next newscast is at 5 on CBS Los Angeles, Channel 2.